Good morning and welcome to the Saturday morning PI Guy live stream. Coffee with the PI Guy answering private investigator questions. Grab your coffee. Thank you so much for joining me. Really quick, I want to do some quick house cleaning type of things. I want to let you know. Coming up, we have some holidays, in case you weren't aware. We have Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I am not sure if I am going to be live streaming that Saturday after Thanksgiving or the Saturdays before Christmas or New Year's. I usually take that time off. I may still do it. I really do enjoy coming here and answering your questions and doing these live streams. So I may get up those mornings and say, yeah, I'm going to do it. But right now, I would say I'm probably not going to. I also know about that time of the year when we're getting into the holidays and stuff, usually YouTube activity starts to drop off. And rightfully so. And if you're one of those people that are spending less time on your devices, watching TV, watching movies, watching videos at the holiday time and spending it with your family and friends. Kudos to you. You really need to do that. And I try to do that as well. So we'll just have to kind of play that by ear. If you have questions, go ahead and hop down into the chat and let me know your PI industry related questions. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. And really quick now, we will go to our first question that we have. And it is from TJR. TJ is a PI Guide channel member. If you are interested in becoming a channel member and supporting the PI Guide, you can go down below. I have a link, or you can click on that join button and you can get more information. There's a lot of perks to becoming members. One of them is your questions will usually float to the top if you are a PI Guy channel member. So, and this one is a very timely question from TJ. He says, how does daylight saving affect PIs? And that's a great question because daylight saving, actually, the time changes tomorrow. We go into daylight saving or out of daylight saving. I don't know how it all goes, but we move our clocks back. I know we fall back and we spring forward. So, like right now, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow at this time, it will be 8 o'clock in the morning. So we actually get a little bit of sleep. That's a really good plus for anybody, I think. I think usually with the daylight saving changes, probably the one in the spring negatively affects PIs the most, especially if you're doing surveillance. Because like right now, the sun comes up about 8 o'clock in the morning. I think you have pre-dawn around 7:30. It's starting to get a little light out there. If you're going out and doing surveillance, usually for most surveillance people, they're going to be out there weekdays around 6 a.m., weekends around 7 a.m. So if you're out there at 6 a.m., you've got quite a while to wait for that sun to come up. Well, now where that sun's coming up at 8 o'clock, it's going to be coming up at 7 o'clock. So that's a little bit nicer. You're not going to be sitting in the dark as long. In the spring, when you move those clocks forward, the sun might be coming up about 6, and now all of a sudden it's going to be coming up at 5, so you'll lose that hour of sleep, and then your sun's going to be coming up even earlier. In the summertime, a lot of times if I'm doing surveillance, I try to even get out sooner rather than later. I might go out at 4:30 even though I'm not getting paid, or 5 o'clock even though I'm not getting paid, because I want the best chance to be out there and not be seen. But that is a good reminder. Make sure you change all of your clocks. Most of our clocks change automatically. I know I have one right here that I have to change, one of my manual ones. But a lot of our covert cameras, you need to change those as well. Your regular surveillance cameras, you need to change those. So there's your reminder for that. And thank you so much, TJ, for that question. Our next one, if you have questions, hop down in the chat and let me know. I see a lot of people hopping in here. If you have questions, let me know. And if you're watching after the live, you can always go into any of my videos and put a question in the comments, and I will try to get them on a future live stream as well. Thomas asks, is there any way to have the camera be on standby? And Thomas was watching a video that I did on this camera right here, the Cam Pro body cam. And this is a really nice body cam. This is my go-to body cam. It has this clip that you can flip around and turn it in different positions. It has a screen on the back so you can view your video that you've taken and things like that. I like the clip because I usually wear a vest. I can just clip it onto my vest and it's right there. But he's asking, can you have it in standby mode? And if you look here on the side, there's 3 buttons. There's the video button, the photo button, and then the power button. So I can push the power button and it's going to turn on. And then when I'm ready to, when it's on, I have it on my vest. I can just reach up and push that video button and then it will start taking video. And then I can push it again and it will stop taking video. And there's I believe you can have it set so there's a little audible so you can hear that, but you can feel them pretty good too. So that's really nice. And on the other side, you can turn off your microphone and change the brightness of the screen and different things like that. So this is really nice. That's what he was talking about. And if you're interested in looking at that, what you can do is hop over to, let me try to pull it up here. Hop over to the PI Guy webpage, freeprivateinvestigatortraining.com. If you go up here to PI Gear and scroll down to the PI surveillance equipment, and I believe it's on the second or the third page. Yep, right here, the second page is the Cam Pro HD body cam. You can go right here. You can get more information. It's a really good camera. It's got 128 gig of RAM. It's very, very heavy duty construction. You know, it's got night vision, audio recording, and everything like that. It is definitely my go-to body cam whenever I'm going out. And whenever I'm doing process surveying or anything like that, I usually have that camera on there. So if you have any questions, again, hop down in the chat and let me know. I see a lot of people hopping in. Let's go to our next question from Wheezy. Hi, John, you're heaven. Thank you so much for all these videos. Thank you so much, Wheezy, for the kind words. Wheezy is in Florida, and she wants to know, how can I find the boundaries for my state? And what she's talking about there, as I just recently had a video about the legal boundaries that a PI needs to live within. And the first thing I would say, Wheezy, that you want to do is go to your state PI licensing authority and requirements. And I know you're in Florida. PIs have to be licensed in Florida. So that's where you're really going to find those legal boundaries. But also check with your state PI association and see what kind of training they have that can help you, one, get your license, get up to date on what licensing requirements are, and be able to help you understand all those requirements. I am a member of FALE, the Florida Association of Licensed Investigators, so you might check them out and see what they may be able to offer you. You also have a second question there, Wheezy. You're stating that some PIs are able to ping people's phones. Where can I get the equipment or software that they are using? Okay, let me. This is a big one here. Let me first address the fact of pinging somebody's phones. Nobody in the private sector can legally ping anybody's phone. It's not there. PIs are doing it. It's against law. But here's the big secret to that. Most of those that are saying they're pinging are not really pinging. They're using that word incorrectly. They're using it as a buzzword, if you will. Well, I'm going to ping that number really quick and see what I come up with. Usually what that means is they're going to run it in a database and see what addresses it's associated with. And they're going to go drive around to those addresses and they're going to see if they find the individual. There is no real pinging. There was a service a while back that probably 15 years ago, maybe not quite that long ago, but there was a service where you could go in and you could pay, and they did something similar to call what's called pinging. They called it pinging. It wasn't really pinging. What they were using was some software that literally would send a message to somebody and they would click on it, you know, like constantly sending them a weather update or something like that. And then they would eventually click on it to try to get those messages to stop. And when they did that, it might download an image or something, and then it would grab the location off of that. That was shut down. I never used that. It looked very illegal to me because pinging somebody's phone is against a lot of federal laws for wiretapping and FCC regulations and different things like that. But I do remember that being out there. But there are none like that now because it's against wiretapping laws and federal communication laws and things like that. So I hope that helps. If somebody says that they're pinging, trust me, they're probably not really pinging. There's no software out there to ping a cell phone. Now there are things that people can do to triangulate through reports from cell phone towers to tell where somebody was, but that's starting to get into computer forensics, cell phone forensics, things like that, and that's a lot different. But it's not live pinging of the phone. So I hope that helps, Wheezy. Our next question is from Black Widow. How much do you think it costs to start your own PI business? And in general, that's going to really depend on what type of investigations you're going to be conducting. Most people are going to get in the PI industry starting doing surveillance. And so we'll just go with that. If you're doing surveillance, you're going to need a vehicle. You probably already have a vehicle. That's probably going to be something that will suffice. You might need to put some window tinting on there. You're going to have to buy some equipment, a camera. You probably already have a computer. If you don't, you might need to invest in one. You just need one that you can do some video editing and writing your reports on. You don't need a lot of stuff for that. And really, if you have that, you have enough. A good covert camera is nice as well. You can get inexpensive ones. I suggest don't get the cheap $15, $20, $50 ones on the internet. I sell some good ones from LawMate on my website at freeprivateinvestigatortraining.com. I would say you'd want to get one of those instead of something cheap out there. But really, besides that, you're going to probably need a business license, your PI license, so you're going to have backgrounds and stuff like that, $500 to $1,000. But that's going to get you started. You also want to join your state PI association and start that networking and start making those connections so you can get the business in to be able to have, have that business be in business as a PI. It's harder. It's a lot easier to start your company as a PI than to market it and get the business going and everything like that. That just takes time. If you have any questions, hop down in the chat. Let me know. I'm going to hop over to my next question here. I see a lot of people hopping in. So let me know if you have any PI related questions. Our next one is from Amer. He's talking about some FCC regulations. Having educated third-party professionals come in and look for devices is definitely the most valuable aspect of your service. And he was watching one of my videos about TSCM, technical surveillance countermeasures, or what people often refer to as bug sweeps. And my company does professional TSCM sweeps. We have tens of thousands of dollars of equipment, lots of Pelican cases that we can come in with all kinds of equipment loaded up in there and things like that. It is expensive to be able to start that kind of a business and go in and do that, and it's not necessarily cheap to hire a professional company to do that. But what he's really talking about are the bugs that people actually buy, and do they adhere to FCC regulations? And one of the things that I want to show you really quick here, if you look at this web page or this image right here, this is the United States frequency allocation chart. So in the United States, if you're creating anything that's transmitting a signal, it has to abide by these regulations. And this goes everywhere from 0 to 300 gigahertz. So 0 kilohertz to 300 gigahertz. There's some place somewhere that everything has to live in. And one of the things that I often caution people about when they think about things like that is, if somebody is creating an actual bug, a nefarious eavesdropping device, something that is meant to find something and not be easily traceable, they're not going to follow those guidelines. They don't really care. If they're creating something illegal, they're not going to care if they're following the laws. They may hide it right in the middle of like the 2.4 gigahertz area and stuff like that, or 5 gigahertz, so it looks like it's just part of the regular spectrums out there, even though they shouldn't put it in there. Now, if it's a regular camera, nanny cam, doorbell cam, things like that, those, when people are manufacturing them and they're going to sell them here in the U.S., yes, they're making them to live in those areas. And I don't know all of the nuances and all of the areas where certain devices can and cannot live. But I do know for the most part that stuff's going to be out there. But again, if it's a bad guy out there building their own bug and they're going to do something, and usually you're not going to find that unless you're talking state versus state or very high-end corporate espionage kind of things like that. But those people, they don't care. They're building something illegal. They don't care about the laws. So I hope that helps there. If you have any questions, hop down in the chat and let me know. Our next question is from Maria. Does it make sense to carry cheaper detecting devices to hotels and Airbnbs for a quick scan? Or will it miss the hidden cameras the majority of the time? It's impossible to hire professional bug sweeping services every time you stay at a hotel. And Maria, again, was watching one of my videos on TSCM equipment, and I've got quite a few of them out there. If you want to see them, go ahead and check those out. But really quick, what I have, and I just did a video on this device here, from Night Security, the KT9000. This is a really nice, what I call a personal space RF detector. It's not a piece of professional TSCM equipment. This sells for around $120, $130 right now. And if you go to my website, freeprivateinvestigatortraining.com, go there, go to my PI gear page. You can find this there. You can find all the information about it. And go to my channel. I just did a full review and tutorial on how to use it. This also has a magnet detector that you can hook up to be able to find magnets, which GPS units are usually attached to a vehicle with a magnet, and it comes with a lens detector as well. But this is a really good device. Another really good device is this one right here, and you can get this on my website too. This is a little closer to the professional grade. This is from Lawmate. It's the RD30. I don't remember I don't remember the cost, so I'm not going to say what it is, but you can check it out at freeprivateinvestigatortraining.com. It's a lot like the other one, very, very heavy duty built, but it has a lot of different features. And I actually have a video coming out on this soon. Again, a full review and a tutorial of how to use it. It has the built-in lens finder that you can see right there. But it has a feature that none have. And I don't know if you can see this, but if you look right up here, you probably can't see it too well, but there's that area, maybe right there you can read it. It says detection area. And one of the things that this does that none of the other small ones do is this has the ability to help you find a camera that is not transmitting. Where if it's an RF, this has the RF capability. It has an antenna. You can pull it up and you can see if you can find one that is transmitting. But if it's not, this has a device, has a way to be able to find it. It's really cool. And I'm gonna demonstrate how to do that in an upcoming video. It also has the ability here to have low sensitivity and high sensitivity. Most of them you have to kind of tweak, sort of like a squelch on a radio. You have to tweak that sensitivity. This, you can actually pop it into low sensitivity and do near field sweeps. So again, I refer to this as a personal space RF detector, not a professional one, a personal space one. But it is a very good one. And watch for an upcoming video on that as well. And that is my last question. So that is going to end the live stream today. I will see you next weekend. Again, keep in mind that Thursday, or that Saturday after Thanksgiving, Thursday, probably not going to be on, but I might surprise people. And that Saturday before Christmas and New Year's, I may not be on. But you guys have a